Hi, hello. Hi, hello. What is this? Okay, go live. Oh my gosh, okay, I have to start without this. Hi, hello, and today's video is going to be. Yes, stop. Today's video is going to be about photoshoot, adult photoshoot. And I have a situation here that YouTube is just not working for me. That's fine. I'll just go with one camera. And that would be it. I could see that I can't do anything with that. Oh my gosh, give me a moment, okay? Okay. Unfortunately, I can't do this, but today I was going to talk about photo shoots, and I'm answering questions. So there are people who are asking some questions about photography, adult photography that I do. I'm based in London, okay? And I know that I'm translating in US, right? But it doesn't matter for me with who to talk to. So there are people who are interested in photography for adult, boudoir photography, nude photography, and adult fantasies. Okay, and my studio provides a lot of different kind of adventures, you know. So that's what I'm going to talk about, and I have a list of questions here, and I'll just start. Okay, so thank you so much first for launching in and staying with me here. I would really want to remove this thing and go live on YouTube, but clearly I can't. Okay, so let me just read this question. Oh my gosh, my computer is shut down. Okay, my computer is making an update while I'm on live. And then you see, I had to say YouTube is stuck. So that's today's situation. Oh, I'm live on YouTube. Great. So I will be just talking from my memory. Okay, from my memory. So I have a lot of people interested in creating photo shoots, and they're asking usual questions, right? They're asking if I do nude photography. They're asking if I can provide photo shoot for their fantasy, and usually photo shoot fantasy very often involves someone else, okay, like a model there, right? So that could be something to talk about today, right? So when people would like to create adult photo shoot, erotic photo shoot, intimate photo shoot, they want to create some kind of a fantasy, right? And there are guys who would like to book a special adventure. Oh, today I received an email from the guy who's saying that his girlfriend is pregnant, expecting, and he would like to book a photo shoot, and she had a fantasy to shoot with a male model. Okay, so that kind of a situation. So what happens when I am going to arrange these fantasies? First of all, I usually check the ID, okay, and collect the deposit. Right, and only then I get in touch with the male models and ask them, are they interested, okay, to do an erotic fantasy. And this particular one would be a maternity style, okay, because if we have a pregnant lady in the studio, right, so it's not a simple situation, and I can tell you why. Because you see, the longer the couple waits for the photo shoot, the harder for lady to shoot. Okay, and I had this photo shoot when the lady was like very soon to give birth. Okay, with the male model, and so there was a lot of disruption because she would like to go and pee every 5-10 minutes. And imagine for a model, for a guy, right? Because when you shoot a certain photo shoot, you have a great body, but you also have an erection, right? That's why you model there, right? And imagine you just starting the scene, and everything goes into a kind of a seductive mode and arousal mode, and then the lady saying, no, I need to go to the toilet. And that's how the photo shoot was. So the longer they wait, the harder usually it will be, but not necessarily. There are some ladies who are going through a last trimester, you know, on high heels and dancing. I've seen those, okay? But not everyone, right? So there are different kind of photo shoots, right? There are people who would go on my website and they would see that I create erotic photography. They would still write me an emails asking if I would be okay to create nude photography for them, right? And the answer is yes. Yes, I'm okay to create adult photography for adults. Okay, when adults do not vibrate in adult energy, okay, then I have this kind of an issue, right? An issue, and I can just give you an example. For example, I was about to book on Friday. It's supposed to be due, right? A photo shoot with one 30 years old guy, okay, but he was gay. And you see gay people and or any kind of trans people, they are more insecure than normal people, okay? They are seriously more insecure. And what that means is that, you know, they're not sure, they're confused, they scared, they nervous, they want reassurance, okay? And that booking situation lasted for a whole month, that it exhausted me to the bone. I was just tired from constantly communicating with that person, you know? And just he had these questions and I was answering, right? So imagine you want to do a haircut and you're calling a professional to book a haircut. You could ask few questions, right? And then you will arrive to the studio and you would have the full consultation. And that person who is cutting your hair actually will be able to see you properly, talk to you properly, adjust the hairstyle to your face, to your, you know, to your style, to your mood, whatever age, right? But that's all happening properly when you are in that salon, right? So this is very similar at my studio. I'm able to consult people at a certain level, right? But I need to meet them to actually be sure about many things, right? About them, what kind of the photo shoot, how it's going to be, how long, how many pictures, you know, and so on. I need to meet those people. And every person who is coming for a service is an individual, and it happens individually, especially when the photo shoot, you see, it happens between me and the client, but everyone is going at their own pace. It doesn't actually happen because of me. If we create sexual photo shoot, intimate photo shoot, you see, the intimacy comes from that side. Responsibility have to come from the client side, because he is creating the adult content, the erotica, the intimate, you know, footage, scenes, right? Not me. So they are people, you see, depending first time, they are, you know, differently breaking into that vibe, into that mood. For some, they need an hour to start and feel confident and relaxed, and for some people even longer, right? So it is very hard to specifically predict how it will go, you know, because like I say, it's an individual matter. And so when people are in the child's energy, they constantly doubting, they constantly unsure, they constantly asking things, and you know, it's like you are holding that person, an adult person, by the hand for a month till he will be convinced to book the shoot, you know. I don't want to provide this service, you know, before the photo shoot. I don't do this. Adults, you see, if they in doubt and they have some kind of a questions and they worry, I answer, right? But I do not communicate with the person who wants to shoot or book a shoot, you know, every day for a month. So that they would, you know, this is too much. Right, so it came to the point with this guy that I just declined the shoot because I was tired of him. You know? I was just tired of Okay, so that's the thing. So adults, you see, when they want to create special adventures, they have to plan this. Yes, some people plan it, like I say, in a short notice, and some people plan it way, way ahead. Okay, but if you're planning to book a shoot in a month's time, it doesn't mean that photographer has to be with you every day for that the whole month. Okay, so people who are still vibrating in this childish energy, mm, they have to, they have to find some other studios to work with. I would decline this type of shoots. Okay, when you're paranoid, when you're scared, when extremely terrified, undressed and think, this is psychologist's work to prepare you and talk to you, and people need to go to therapy first before they go to do a photo shoot. Simple as that, right? And I appreciate those individuals who are writing me emails and saying I'm absolutely scared that I would like to have a photo shoot. It's been so many emails like that I've actually realized that creating an online course to boost the confidence and create certain transformation in a personal state, it's something what I must do. And there will be a lot of people who would like to be more confident in themselves sexually, that they will be able to discuss what they want to shoot intimate conversation, to hold this properly with the solid confidence, right? Not just like this is a child's energy, when you're scared, when you're shy, when you're embarrassed, when you're awkward, and you're discussing erotic photo shoot. Okay, I am very easy to read that information. So that's the thing. Okay, when people are planning, it's one thing. When people just want to know the information, there is another thing. But when people are decided and booking a photo shoot, right, there is a limited information that I can provide, okay, from my end. But most of the time, okay, it is very individual. I have to meet people to know what kind of the photo shoot, how it's gonna happen, okay? Because people like different things and they into different things. And believe it or not, okay, they are so blocked and they so closed that they want to release that information day by day, about themselves and about their sexual nature, okay, about their, personality, how they are, and feeding me with the small glimpse, I can tell you this very often. I notice via emails, because they would ask about a photo shoot in my one way, and then you see on the second and the third email I just get the full picture, and I can realize what will be the scenario and how big will be the gig in general, right, from the photo shoot. So I would like people to be very honest and open to, to their photographer, to tell them what exactly they're planning to shoot, so that there will be no surprises, okay? No, seriously, right, for photo shoot. So I have this computer loading and I have questions there. Let me just say hi, hello quickly, and I'm continuing discussing about photo shoots for adults, for individuals, for couples. And the most maybe popular question, which comes from the whole questions, it just repeats and repeats, and a photo shoot with hot and sexy models, okay? I am familiar with a lot of models because I worked in adult business, and I have a certain contacts, and these models are willing to join my clients on scene to create adult fantasies, right? To play adult games, role play scenarios. Very often clients want two things. One is a threesome, okay? And second, they want a cuckold fantasy. Okay, that's what they most of the time booking when they hiring a model. Okay, and you know that this how to say, fantasies are not available to create if we would not invite a model, right? Couple cannot do it by itself. Sometimes they say they will bring a friend or two, okay? Sometimes they say they will find their own model, okay? But with my experience, I can tell you this, that when I know the models and when I shot, I am convinced about how the experience will be, that people will turn up on time, that they will be dressed and ready, okay, and rested, and turn on through the shoot, okay, like they would last and they would keep the performance, right, and everything would be great. So that is why I am choosing a certain people, okay, who I know, who I worked before, okay. And it's not like, you know, anyone from the street. No, no, no. There is an amount, certain amount of guys, for example, would I recommend for adult shoot. Okay, that's how I work. Okay, sometimes I can tell you when men are booking ladies, they are more picky and choosy. Okay, and then I would need to contact agencies and ask about VIP models available for a specific private shoot, okay? That is also an offer and that is also an option, okay, for couples. But it comes at a certain price, and that's why, you know, this gig is very interesting for many people to talk about, to know, to ask, okay? But this is a premium service, right? This is a premium service, okay? That's what I do. So, okay, like I said, I am going to, 31 message, very nice. Let me just have a discussion here. Let me just have a discussion here. Hi, hello, thank you, I've seen your hearts, thank you so much. Will you get to tell us what you really think? Then tell us. What do I really think? What do I really think? What do I really think? I think many things, you know. The older I get, the more I think about intimacy in the other way, okay? I believe that young people, okay, they have to experiment, okay, to get knowledge, okay, to be wise, right, to have a feeling, okay? Because when I am practicing myself, vibrate in that sexual energy, I'm very much aware of what's going on. I can sense other people, okay? When I communicate with my clients, I know what to offer them. I know how much I can push them, okay? I know what kind of a vibe they're in, what experiments they would like to try here at the studio, right? So I am kind of in an intuition, very tuned intuition. And also, you see, when you are creative, right? And that's the thing what probably adults lacking the most in adult life. Erotica, it's a creative energy, you know, because you reinvent and you re-edit yourself, your behavior, your likes, okay, your preferences, right? The way you are, the way you look, the way you feel, and what you want, you can change. You can re-edit your story, re-edit about yourself, right? And erotica shows a lot of information about you, who you are, okay? Not about anyone else, that the photo shoot is about you. And when people undress, okay, there is nowhere to hide, right? You inevitably get the range of emotions that come to the surface and arise, and you will meet them, okay? And very often different kind of demons come out, okay? And people changes the face, you know, right? Let me just quickly get back to my questionnaire. Okay, so that's what I've noticed. When people vibrate in sexual energy, especially in the studio when they are making love, right? I can see this specifically, like I said, the way they look. They can come very tired or aged, okay? And I mean like old, okay? Like when there is a mature couple, okay, they're coming old. And then they will have this adventure, like a freedom, okay, like peeling all these layers, okay, and they look much, much younger. And I am that person who is there to capture this, memorize this for them, right? So that's what I do, okay? And that's what is important for me in general, to analyze that every person reacts in a different way, okay? And when they go and make love, okay, they just change. Their energy changed. I am changing, okay? The atmosphere in the studio changes. It becomes a different air, okay? It's just like and hot and too hot for me very often, okay? And it's like fake, and of course there is someone else's smell in the studio. Sometimes it's a very strong smell, okay, what I'm saying, when people are intimately active, okay? So there are a lot of things what is going on. People just think, oh, they would go to the studio and they just do it, and that's what happens, okay, in the most of the time, because you see, not every photographer would want to go into this depth with the couple when they truly ready to create adult content. They can do it in 15 minutes, right? And that's what generally the agenda is. When there are people thinking, oh, we can just do it in 15, 20 minutes, right? But in the reality, I can tell you that you have to be ready for this, okay? Like sexual energy, you can't just come in and step into it. It comes, it rises up inside your body. And when it rises up, something happens with you. It's like you get disconnected out of this world. Okay, they are disconnected so much that they do not see me. They are not aware of me. Okay, they do not remember where I've been, and I'm very close to them. Okay, because for me personally, the best content when I'm like this, that is the best content. Of course, I zoom out, right? But most of the time, I'm like zoom in, so that I see everything, because this is where they are not able to create by themselves. You understand what kind of a content I'm talking about, right? So when they make love, I'm very close. Of course, I'm going in and out, right? Or left and right, or up. And, like I'm creating different kind of frames, right? I'm not standing just in one spot and taking pictures, right? But different photographers move differently and understand adult photography in a different way. Plus, I am shooting with two cameras, where is the photography and where is the video at once, yeah? I'm that kind of a professional, right? So that's what I'm saying. I am learning, in 20 years of being an adult business, I've learned so much about these energies. It changed me. I am absorbing them, and it changes me. Okay, so I can tell you, it changes them 100% through one session. Because when they arrive, they do not plan to do that much. Okay, and I can tell you why. Because there are people who are coming to create a photo shoot, and we share a copyright, and they pay a certain amount, which is like maybe £2 per image. I shoot a lot, So, okay, they pay like a certain amount, but if I give them 500 to 700 pictures, it's like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 pounds per image for a professional explicit make love scene, right? So I shoot big packages, right? It's not like you're getting 5 or 10 pictures. I don't shoot this way, because to raise the energy, you need to keep shooting and escalate this with them, so that they will get hotter and hotter, and then they will undress and they will do more things. So I am, how to say, every moment I am there with them, and you need some time to shoot a lot so that they will get into that energy. So my sessions are between 300 to 1,500 pictures. That's what they get after a photo shoot. Imagine that. So that's the path I'm going with them through the whole way, from the moment they're still and not sure, and just like stiff, basically. I would say some frozen, you know, hiding from me, okay, to start with. Seriously, there are couples who come to create make love scenes and then turn around and start make love hiding from me, okay? I'm not saying, whoa, 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 stop this now again, right? So there are different reactions from people, how they would move. And I can't predict this. That's why it's a freestyle. And that's why I call this art, okay? Adult art. Because we're creating on the go, you know? So that's what I learned. Okay, I learned to react very quickly, and I learned to create every time a new shoot with every person that I make. Okay, there are people who have a studio and they create the same content. Okay, and that is their business model, and nothing is wrong with it. You know, it is very popular to have fish and chips in UK. Okay, and when you go to the seaside this weekend, I was on Southend, you know, and sea. I can tell you, I went, and on one, like a very small street, there was maybe 7 fish and chip shops. You know, you would not see like that, but you know, fish and chips, 7 shops, you know, and everyone making the same fish and same chips. Okay, so that's kind of it is with boudoir studios. Okay, they set up the lights and they create more or less same photography. Okay, and I shoot unlimited sessions. Okay, and I do not set anything, right? Because I believe that when you create art, you need to make it from scratch, and you need to tailor by the energy they convey. So I am inspired by people who arrive to my studio, and then I give them this feedback, you know, how they impacted me. That's kind of a artwork I create for them. So that's how it is. It's not boring. Okay, every time I shoot, it's not boring. So that's what I can tell you. Really, what I think, right? Every time is different. 70 messages. It's like 69 messages. Do you see the 69 number? It's a very good number. It's a sexy number, right? 69. Good. Okay, beautiful. I have a computer ready now. And any question? Any question, I can just read out and answer. So let me just read what my clients are asking me. Hi, I am interested in doing a couple's photo shoot with my partner. Can someone contact me on this number? Okay, so photo shoot with my partner, it means a couple photo shoot. Again, that's not enough information. Okay, because there are different kind of photo shoots. There are photo shoots that you can have dressed, then semi-nude, then nude, then explicit, and then you can have make love scenes and scenarios. Majority would like to have the full range. Okay, and now it's very popular to shoot and photography and video. Okay, and you see when people are booking a photo shoot, they are expecting a final product, a professional approach. So what that means is that not only that I prepare for the shoot the content, then I go into post-production and edit, right? And how long I'll stay, that depends, right? The longer I edit, the better the content would look, right? So imagine if I edit 1 minute, or I edit 10 or 15 minutes. It's a different looking picture is going to be there, right? It's simple as that. But you see, when I'm talking about creating a lot of artwork, imagine 700 pictures. 700 pictures I really miss. Okay, so it will be maybe 70 which I would exclude. So let's say 630. Even spend just to look and analyze, evaluate the shot, it takes 1 minute. Not doing much. But that's already 630 minutes just to look at the file. Okay, not, not doing much, right? Just to look at the file. So the post-production times, vary. Sometimes I stay a day, sometimes I stay 3 days, sometimes I stay 7 days. imagine if I'm shooting photography and videos. Then they want to make movie stills gallery. Then they want to have color and black and white. Then they would like to have gifts collection from the videos, right? Then I have a video collection when I have different, different length of the video. So some would like 30 minutes video. Some would like three videos, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes, 3 videos, okay, or 10 minutes, 3 videos, or 1 minute, 10 videos, and then another 20 minutes. So different content in a different length. Then you have to edit, adjust the music and all this kind of things, okay? And then you need to upload everything. So post-production, it's a big part of the shoot, right? And so when they're thinking about the photo shoot gig, right, they have to understand that this is a project, okay? And it's not 2 hours shooting, because at the real, at the real studio, you would take 2 hours, let's say, right? But in 2 hours, I can create 1,000 images, and 30 minutes of video, I can do differently. I can do 500 images and 60 minutes of video, okay? Differently I can shoot, right? You understand? So, like I say, it depends what we want, how we are. Some couples are very active, okay? It's hard to shoot them because they move all the time, okay? They've been doing some kind of a tai chi, or some kind of a dancing, and they express themselves. So I go into a video mode, okay? It's because this is that type of the couple. And sometimes the couple is just frozen and stiff and stale, and just dance, and you want to push them and do something. So it's very good with the photography because they're still, they're just frozen, right? So to start this energy flowing, I need to work with that couple in a different way, right? But like I say, people are asking how much is the photo shoot, okay? And I could ask them how long I will be staying in this project. 10 hours, 20 hours, 30, 50 hours, how long, right? No one knows till we have not created these final images. If we're doing a freestyle photo shoot, okay? There are packages when there is a certain amount, the budget they spend, and then I'll try to fit in this budget, okay? And even then, fitting in this budget is just like guessing, is it gonna be 200 images, or is gonna be 250 or 300 images? No one knows. What is the pace, okay? How adults are, relaxed, and what they can create, right? So we can just guess and aim for a certain thing, right? That's what happens, in the studio. That is why I take a deposit and then I shoot, that's very often. Okay. Marry me. Look, marry me, and there is no even profile picture. If you want someone to marry you, okay, you need to open up to the world. This is the first thing. It's like an energetical thing, okay? It's not that you have to, okay? But what I think in general, when we open our energy and we are open-minded to, let's say we can meet online, you can meet people online. That's popular now, right? Before you would need to go, to the nightclub or to the bar, or to the coffee shop to meet someone. Now you can do online. So if you want to marry someone, open your picture and put your picture. Someone will see you, okay? You will be open to the opportunities, right? That's what I'm saying. Can I see the outfit, please? Okay, this is not a fashion show, if you understand what I'm saying, yeah? I like your voice, thank you. Okay, I'm saying hi, hello, how are you? I'm very well, Okay, you can see the cereal soup? Okay. Can you imagine? Someone has food in their head. I'm talking about erotic fantasies and adult photo shoot, and someone thinking about food. Different mindsets. Okay. These days, I mean, single ladies on TikTok live. How do you do? Do you do, lady? Single ladies. What can I say? I do not watch single ladies. I am not on social media. I come to practice public speaking, right? And I practice talking about my passion and my profession, right? And this is the best place for me. It's the social media, okay? And yes, it just builds up the confidence and builds up the you know the authority, you see. So I am seeing this as something what I must do, just for that reason, because I'm very grateful for what I have, and I believe sharing this information and giving you some knowledge about photo shoots, about erotica, about sexuality, broaden your views, okay, and you will start vibrating this energy, and you will feel great, you know, and life will be good to you as well, because you will be looking at yourself, okay. What sexuality does is it brings you back to yourself, okay, just to seriously think about your body, about your needs, about your mental state, about your intimacy with yourself, with other people, okay, how great the lover you are, okay, what you can adjust, how you can imagine, right, what kind of a fantasy you would like to pursue, and you know, creative things, right? So I'm bringing people who are adults back to themselves, back to that beginning, okay, beginning where it started, right? You started with the sexual energy. That was your beginning. I believe that we not only start with this energy, but we also end there, okay, end there. The reason why I believe this, because I know different people you see come from a different backgrounds, and they go through different development stages. It can't be that everyone on this planet develops the same. We can see that there are maybe levels. Maybe they say it's a school and everyone is a different class, right? Some in the university even, right? And some maybe just admitted to nursery. Yeah, we can't be everyone the same. So there are levels how we develop in sexual energy. For adult, okay, it's a main resource, right? We were told that maybe we need to eat food, and that's our resource, but that's not true. You know, food just covers 30%, and it's actually appointed to the brain to feed the brain and cover those needs, right? And where the rest of the energy comes from. Or shall I rephrase this, that, you know, adults, when they're looking, when they're in search, oh, that's a good point. I will just tell you this, how I think, okay? So there are a lot of people who are searching for something, okay? No, seriously. That's why they are on social media. That's why they are wasting their time scrolling, because they're looking for something. And I can tell you that there are people who have everything. They don't need to look for anything. They have a loved one. They have a great health with the libido and sexual drive, right? They don't need social media, right? Yes, so they have a great health, and then sexual energy as well being diverted into their business, so they feel free and happy, satisfied with themselves, okay? Because sexual energy, it's money energy, right? And then, you know, like I said, they might have a family relationship and the babies, because you see, children are made also through a sexual energy. So in every point of your life, there is a sexual energy which being converted into a certain product. So when people are not searching anything. They have everything through that sexual energy. They are not on social media. They're enjoying their life. So my goal is to bring this information towards society and take them off, social media, so that they stop looking. They stop thinking that something is missing. They stop thinking that something is wrong with them, okay? They stop being, jealous or pointing at someone or this. Everything comes from here, Sexual energy it's about you, right? Who you are, those people you attract, right? That's how it is. We do not have mirrors, When they look, our eyes pointed outside. And that's why we see everything around us. And we need the mirror. We need the mirror to show us how we look. And everyone uses a mirror every day, okay? Because if you do not have a mirror, you would need to go to the lake. And you need to find, a water source to see your reflection. Okay, so that's where the photography comes from. It's a powerful, powerful resource. It's just great, if you create a hot and sexy pictures and post online, you will get 100% a boost, of endorphins, because everyone would say, amazing, you look amazing, right? I don't need to tell you, you know this, okay? So single ladies or not single ladies, doesn't matter. If people are staying there on social media, they do not have life or they don't know how to live it. Okay, that's how it is. They see everyone else. They want to involve and care about everyone else's business. That's what I see what's happening. You know why? Because they don't know how to sort their own business. That's why everyone cares that much about the others, okay? But as soon as, everything will be sorted for yourself, you don't need to look anywhere, okay? If your brain will understand this, then the first thing to understand, and the second thing you will be able to achieve it. And in general, what are they looking now? I remember one quite famous economist said that, now all the tools how to make money is online. Why there is not many people are rich? They keep looking and keep looking how to make money, right? Why? Because there is not enough energy. You see, when you have this energy, you can do anything. With sexual energy, let's come back to this. When you're in love, you can move mountains. That's kind of an energy, okay? When you put sexual energy in a project, and there are a lot of men who use their energy and then they come back home drained, okay, and wife is getting nothing, and then the relationship going sideways and infidelity is creeping in. Why? Because he's going to his, meeting all sexy, all dressed up with using all the sexual energy, being a macho, attentive, this and that. That's the sexual energy is, okay? That's what that is. And if, this wife is looking at the guy who's standing on the stage on the telly, and just she's admiring how clever he is and so on. She's also, attracted to a sexual energy because we fancy someone who is, the fastest driver, okay, or the best climber, or the best speech, or the best singer. That is, sexual energy everywhere around you. So you have to use it too, to get somewhere. Okay, let me just talk about this. My husband has a cuckold fantasy, which I am not adverse to, especially with a hunky fella. So I was really interested to find your side. Having looked at the photos and videos, I wanted to ask you, what is this? Ask you, do your models really have unprotected intimacy with your clients, or it is cleverly shot so it just looks like you do. Okay, I think I've been answering this question, but I can answer again. The answer is both. Okay, the both, and it depends on couples' request. Okay, people very often think that model is here in charge. It's not. The couple is booking a photo shoot, and we're discussing a scenario till these small details. You know, it's gonna be protected, unprotected. We speak about model's test results. We speak about model's health, and we speak about model's performance and the size, about everything. Okay, so nothing will happen if you will not pay. That's the thing, first thing, right? The second thing, models are interested, okay, also to have unprotected intimacy. They are. They are, okay? They also very interested who is the client, okay? They want to know. Right, it's not that they don't care. That's what I'm saying. So if a client booking a certain photo shoot, that's exactly what will happen. Okay, and if they pay for this service, that will exactly they will get. Very often husbands, you know, worry or nervous. Oh, I would like to book a model for a photo shoot for his wife, but she would want just to play out some scenes and just, you know, for a show. Okay, that's exactly what will happen. It happened to me that model, you know, was so gorgeous and so sexy and turned the partner on that she wanted to have a let me remember what she said. Once we had this shoot, and then she said, I am expecting to be on the 9th cloud. That's what she said, you know. And I'm thinking, I'm sorry, but you just booked, you know, model's body and, you know, model naked to be there with you, and it was not included that someone is banging you. Okay, so it's not gonna happen that you are so hot and sexy, otherwise model is not professional. Okay, seriously. And when I'm talking about non-professional, I remember this guy from US booked a hotel shoot, and he booked me and he paid the deposit, and he knew that my fees are, you know, like this much. And he came to me and he said, do you know that I did the research and there was one guy who agreed to shoot me for a few bottles of beer. Okay? So that he could see how he is banging, you know, an escort lady. I am sure there will be options like that available. You know, people who starting out, or there are men who would like to even participate sometimes. Okay, different kind of adventures when it comes to adult shoots. I roll in a professional way. Okay, models being paid for the shoot, photography is being paid, deposits being collected, the service being booked and ordered, and that's exactly what you get. Okay, if they want to extend the shoot, they can extend. If they want to, you know, a different service, they will pay extra. Okay, because very often happens that people would want to book a shoot, did not provide much information, and they think that they would arrive to the shoot and they will do whatever they want. Okay, and that's not the case, because in adult business, you see, content matters. There are people who would like romantic setting, okay, and soft and boudoir style, okay, and there are people who would want fetish kinky situation, you know, using toys, stretching anus, and doing all kinds of sort of things, okay, and that's a different movie and a different price, you know. That's how it works. So that's important to know, you see. That's why I'm making these videos, to have this information available. Smile if it's bold. What is bold? Okay, thank you so much for your messages. Thank you so much. What do you think about sister wives? What do you think about sister wives? What do I think about wife with the sister? What do you mean, sister wives? You see, if you talk about photo shoot between the ladies when they're playing out lesbians. There are this fantasy and guys sometimes booking a photo shoot and booking a female model for their wife or their girlfriend. Okay, so she can assist and they can play different kind of games. So that's, if that will answer your question. Okay. Okay. Hi, Julie. I was wondering if you could tell me what I might need to do some work for you as a model. Okay, that's a job inquiry. Let me just see a little bit further what we have here. I'm interested in arranging a photo shoot either with my partner or a model. That's a very often question. When the partner, usually the girlfriend or wife, is not available, okay, they're thinking to hire a model and create erotic photo shoot in a couple style. That's a very often interest, often shoot. Why the girlfriend do not want to participate? Because she's insecure. Because she doesn't like how she looks. Maybe something is wrong with her. Maybe she's after the birth, have children, she's changed. Maybe in general she thinks she's not photogenic or she's not beautiful. Or she's scared because you see camera can take all these angles and all these wrinkles and all these imperfections, right? And they don't want to show it, right? So there are many reasons why, but most of the time scared, shy, embarrassed, that kind of a situation. Looking to do a shoot with my wife, please call or email with detail how it works. The first thing what I do is I collect a deposit, okay? And after the reservation is made, we discuss all the details, okay? Not the way around. We can roughly talk about the shoot, okay? But I do not go into a very long conversations because some people would really need long conversation and write me long and emails and contact me very often, okay? And that means they do not, they're not ready. They think that I'm going to prepare them, insure them, and so on. My girlfriend is over in the UK soon and we are interested in a photo shoot. Okay, I believe that his girlfriend is living somewhere else and she's arriving to visit him. That's a very often situation, okay, when people are meeting from the long distance. They are away from each other. And they are away from each other and the photo shoot is, it has very, like a longing energy when they seriously miss each other and they are doing this photography or a video to memorize that moment that they can be together. This is a very special shoot. It happens, right? Hard finding information on the site about the photographer. Could I get some background about the photographer? That's a good question. I'm going to prepare this information more, okay? The photographer is going to be me. I have another photographer, which is an assistant, and we have a male photographer too. But it participates in a big projects. Usually people are interested that there will be a female crew, that there will be a woman, okay? Because they probably don't want to feel jealous, right, in this situation. So me, I became a photographer, but at the beginning of my career, I actually started as a head chef. I was a chef in a kitchen and I found that it's very hard for me. And this is men's job. But being a chef took me 4 years to learn, right? Being a chef made me very bossy. I am very easy to create different kind of menus, plans, spicy, non-spicy, different stuff, and I'm very good to direct people, okay, because I'm not afraid to tell people what they should do right now, stop, go there, do this. So that's the thing. And then 7 years in medical university, okay, I have bachelor master's degree. I didn't go any further because 7 years was enough for me, and I've decided to move to UK, right, to pursue my and continue my career. And here I met my partner who passed away last year, and I've changed my profession, and I studied photography, and I opened the studio, and I worked in adult business for 20 years, okay, till now. And that's my background. I added videos to my profession, and I create photography and videos at the same time, okay, for adults. That is the background. I hope that is so short and clear. Okay, there are a lot of questions about memberships and about erotic galleries that I had on my website, and I'm trying to move them to a Telegram channel. I'm very new to Telegram channel, and I have very high hopes, okay, because I'm thinking the Telegram channel will be perfect for me to run courses, photography course, okay, Eros course for sexual transformation, right, for boosting the confidence, and of course open online galleries for people who want to visit and see more about adult art, who loves adult art, right? 14 messages. Let me just check quickly, okay, what we have here. You just talking to us right now, it brings a sexual energy. I can't even imagine in the studio. I know, some people are gifted, okay? This is something that was always with me, you know, always. And in the studio is the same, right? Even more. What happens, I can tell you, what nowhere else it happens, okay? People are able to create the stuff that they could not even imagine that they would do in front of anyone. Okay, that is my power. Okay, they think that they will do a photo shoot. They think that they will shoot few scenes and few poses. They think that, you know, they would just, you know, slightly show and think. But I make them create wild and crazy stuff. Okay, that's what I do. I'm able. I don't know how. It's a gift. You see, I'm switching off, and I'm attached to the universe, and that's how it goes through there, you know. Very often I do not remember what I've created, and I do not even remember how the shoot went. And when I come and check, okay, what kind of videos and what kind of images, it makes me, you know, surprised, seriously. And then I realized that it's not me. It's not me doing this. Okay, and that's what I think. That it's not me. That something attaches and comes through me and able to create this art. Okay, so that's how it is. Thank you for telling me this. It's good to know that you feel that. Right, okay, let me just quickly say here is beautiful. That's hot. Are you from Romania? I never been there, you know. I never been there. But there was a time where I've noticed there were a lot of Romanian escort. There was a time, okay, in London here. You seem like you have very low emotion. Okay, very low emotion. You know, we can seem or we can think, but you will never know. You know, you can imagine. That's why you have this ability to imagine things, right? So thanks for sharing your imagination. Do you take photos of men solo? Yes, I do. I do take men solo. I can tell you I enjoy very much working with men, okay, because they, I would say in general, they're less destructive in their head, and they less, I can't say that they do not have a high standard, but they're more realistic, okay? There are exceptions, of course, everywhere. Sometimes I speak absolute, but there are exceptions, okay? But in general, they would not go crazy about a certain wrinkle or something, and you know, they would dismiss the whole picture or so on, right? So they are more realistic. I feel this photo shoot's very easy for me to go through and accomplish. When I have ladies, I am more in tune, okay, because there are very high standards, you know, for the beauty, because woman is always wants to look much younger than she is, much slimmer than she is, more curvier or bustier than she is, right? There are different kind of situations there. With men, they want to have a bigger size always, or to look bigger, right? And there are some people who are absolutely unaware of that they are okay with their size, and they still asking, can you Photoshop this? Can you Photoshop me there? And can you make this bigger? And of course you can in a Photoshop, but I'm saying you don't need to. You are absolutely fine, you know. And still I do it because they're asking, right? So I work with men and I really like it, okay? But sometimes men vibrate in this child's energy when they're very scared, when they're very shy, when they very feel awkward. And you know, this sensual and sensitive part, which is okay. I'm not saying that men should not be sensitive. But like I say, there has to be a certain adult approach to this, right? Not being a child. Because when I speak with a child and I feel like a mom, you know, I don't want to shoot then. Because adult photography is just for adults only. Okay? Adults only. Right. Okay. So let me just read a last question. Okay. Hello, have you hired models? Okay. I'm interested in nude photography. I want a couple shots of myself and then a couple of another man, but I don't have anyone available. Please, if it's possible for you to arrange one. I have no issues with how he looks. I'm interested in the nude photography. I want a couple shots of myself. I would assume that this is a lady writing this message. Okay, it could be a guy who wants to shoot with the guy. Today you don't know. Okay, so I would write back and I would reply saying that, you know, introduce yourself. What is, you know, what is your gender? Right? When talking about shooting adult photo shoots, okay, I am inviting models, okay, for premium gigs, right? So if we agreeing on the premium price, then I will put my effort, okay, in arranging that, preparing that, hiring a model, talking with the model, discussing all details. There is a lot of stuff going on when it takes to a model, right? It has to be safe, it has to be secure, it has to be on time, right? Punctual. There are many things when you're hiring a model, right? So that's only for premium shoots. There are sometimes people thinking that, oh, it is so easy to invite anyone. I don't care how he looks, I don't care what is his size, just to bring someone. You know, it doesn't really work this way. Unless you really don't care. Because what happens is that I do have these people who really eager to join any kind of shoot. I open public Telegram channel and there are a lot of guys who commenting there and saying, I'm not a model, I'm not a great size, but I would like to join the shoot and I would like to try. If you want, you know, I'm always available. I come to London for this shoot and I'll do. I have these options. Yes, right? I have this option. They can be arranged, okay? But most of the time, people who hire models, they have expectations, And they want professionals who would last for a few hours, okay, and who will deliver the performance, and who would sway the lady off her feet with their looks, with their energy, you know, with their masculinity, with their, you know, brutal moves and so on, right? There are expectations right there. So there are a lot of interest when they inviting someone or want to bring someone to the studio. I can tell you why it is such a popular topic. Because in general, when you shoot a photo shoot for yourself or by yourself, there is only you. There is only you on set and me, you know, telling you, moving you around, working with you, right? But when you invite someone else, it's much easier. It's more fun. You are with someone playing out certain games, right? Dancing or moving or seducing or, you know, doing some kind of a different stuff, right? So this is a different dimension when there are two people on stage and there is one person. It's two different things. Thank you for this heart. I don't know. Is it a hard day today? A hard day today. Okay. Yeah. So like I say, photo shoots with someone, it's always more fun, right? But some people want to be private, want to be low-key, they don't want anyone else, they want just them, right? And that's okay, and that's always fine, right? So let me just quickly say goodbye. I'm good size when bricked. Good to know, good for you, right? Okay, thank you so much for today. I was discussing about erotic photography. And I was talking about couples photo shoot today, talking about photo shoots with models, right? And in general, discussing things what people are interested in photography, and talking to viewers, right? Thank you so much, and love you, kiss you, mean it. Bye. See you next time.